Hey, friends, here in the home of my friend Andy Gullahorn. Welcome, Andy.
Welcome.
We're doing the Homebrew Worship Circle podcast here in Nashville. How long have you guys been in this house? It's beautiful.
Almost 20 years.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And it's not far from where you and Jill went to college.
Nope, it's just a couple miles down the road where we met and went to college.
So y'all have a lot of community, a lot of long history with people.
We do. Luckily, we moved to Nashville in 94.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then time helps with that kind of a thing.
Yeah. Well, friends, welcome. Man, thanks for doing this. I was telling Andy, we had a really good talk before the interview, and sometimes I feel like when you're catching up with a friend, you get all the really good stuff. So hopefully we can carry that over into what we're talking about. But I interviewed you a few years ago or a couple years ago, and it was on the Zoom or something. But since then, a lot of life's happened, and I was like, man, you have a new album, Winning Streak, out. So good. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I was like, I gotta re-interview Andy and catch up.
Awesome. Any chance to hang out? It's a good one.
So last time we were on, first of all, for those of you who don't want to go back and listen, you and Gabe Scott do the high five thing. Is that still going on?
Still going. We actually just did it this morning.
Did you?
Yeah, so it's been every week for about 11 and a half years.
That's unbelievable. So CBS this morning did a story. You can look on YouTube and find it. But high five, Gabe Scott, Andy Gullahorn, and you guys just walk and give each other a high five.
Yeah, walk a mile and a half.
How far is it round trip?
Mile and a half is the round trip. So
that's a good walk.
3/4 of a mile that way.
Do you walk every day?
Not like walk.
Like, do you have a routine where you're just like, I'm going to go walk?
No, I should. I should, but I don't.
What do you do to get outside? Play?
Yeah. I mean, I travel so much, so it kind of messes things up as far as routine, which is why I needed to have that high five thing. It's like, have something while I was in town that would be consistent.
Yeah.
I don't have, Jill and I will take walks when we're around.
Yeah.
But I haven't, just because of the summer, I haven't really seen Jill in 3 weeks. Well, we've seen her, but yeah. Having an actual conversation without kids around or heading to an event or something like that. So,
man, well, I know you play a lot. We talked about that last time, and it's an encouragement to me. And we have a rest retreat coming up. This will come out before the rest retreat, October 20 to 22, Stone Mountain, Georgia, and Carrie Garcia is going to be there, and we're going to talk a little bit about play and how healing it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we're actually, Andy, thinking of having a karaoke competition among small groups. So every small group nominates a karaoke star, and we compete at night after session one. How do you think?
That's a fantastic idea.
Would that be fun? And you can't nominate.
Jill loves karaoke. Holy cow!
Well, Jill can nominate herself for her group.
She won't do that.
You have to pick somebody who's not a coach who's going to go, and then we're going to compete, and we'll have a judges panel.
Should I go ahead and tell my small group that so we can start?
Totally. Also,
auditioning.
I need to tell them.
I'm going to send audition tapes for my small group.
Yeah, I need to tell them on the session. They need to go ahead and nominate their star.
So what night? This is going to be Monday night?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Probably night one, because the second night's usually more serious. And
I always get confused what night one is.
That one's the one that you guys have sung on before.
Okay.
It's more chill. Everybody's gotten in traveling.
Okay.
Y'all, I love Andy Gullahorn. I met him a few years ago, providentially, just to recap. And he and Jill's music have meant a lot to me through the years. And man, just wanted to dig in a little bit to your heart and what God's doing. They're empty, almost empty nesters. We were just talking about that.
We just moved our youngest into college for his freshman year last week, and then my middle child will be going to her senior year this Wednesday, and then thus begins empty nesting. But then we'll be gone for the next 2 weeks after dropping her off, so we won't be nesting here
right
for a little bit. But
we were talking about how everybody processes that differently. Those of you who have young kids, hang in there. It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's highly physical right now and time consuming, but there will be a day where they walk off and fly. It's good stuff. Heart work, soul work, therapy, recovery, all the stuff, man, is the world you guys live in. Jill's a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
You do a lot of work with people in therapy and conferences and all that stuff. Is that just kind of a lot of the connection, a lot of concerts you do are around that theme?
There certainly are a lot through the year that have come through that have some healing component.
Right.
I don't know if it's most of the stuff, but a lot. And that I just found that for some reason therapists always liked my music because I think it's because there's a lot of therapy language in it, because I needed a lot of therapy.
Yeah.
And then they would use it for different things, and they would start asking if I'd come be a part of different things. And then that kind of turned into more and more of that work. And the more I do it, I really love all the shows that I get to play. I love playing songs for people.
Yeah.
But to get to play songs in the context of healing work, where it's not just like you show up on a day, you have sound check, you play a show, and then you leave. Where there's like a weekend and you're getting to know people and you're getting to know their trauma and you're getting to know, and to be able to sing songs in the midst of that feels like one of the greatest honors in the world. I just had last week or 2 weeks ago was doing one of these intensive therapy retreats.
Right.
And on the tail end of that, which was great and heavy, and I just hit my microphone, sorry. Heavy and wonderful. I just had a show booked on the tail end of that, and it was like, I was like, oh, this could be a regular show, but it was centered around a church community that had lost somebody. Somebody was murdered 3 years prior, so it was kind of the anniversary of the death.
Right.
And so it's like playing a show in the context and in honoring and remembering this loss, which is not really a normal concert. I don't think a lot of people would really want to sign up for that.
Right.
But even in that, it felt there's something so sacred about naming why we were gathering, recognizing that it's like horribly sad. But like what happens in that context is you're able to go like really sad or dark with the songs because people relate to that.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, there's a lot of laughter. And I think the further that you go into that, the hard parts of our stories, it kind of like expands the window of tolerance so that you can handle more of this, just being grateful for the world and the joy that you can have. So I love going into those deep places because it just makes both sides way more rich. I think
that's so good. It's like the more we taste death, the more we experience real life, which is a dichotomy that does not make sense. And no one wants to sign up for it. But I love your song, Broken Heart. I was just thinking as we're talking here, a broken heart is better than one that doesn't feel. And for you guys and ladies listening, it's like we all are just kind of here going, well, how do I know that my heart broken or not broken? And, what is it? You've talked to me, Andy, about like coming alive and your heart being whole and feeling, allowing yourself to feel. And what do you see as you've done this work and done your work just about your heart coming alive and being more present to your heart in the moment that's maybe changed over the years for you?
I would say that being aware of how my heart feels in the moment, well, it's still a struggle, but I'm better at it than I used to be. But like, especially, we talked about this before, but like the things that really make my heart come alive, I don't mean just like a dessert is really, although it could be a really tasty dessert or something that's bad for me, but it's just kind of like something that like just lights me up. I realized that when I started trying to pay attention, to it because there are people that are wiser than me that were telling me that I should pay attention to.
Like what brings you to life.
And I wouldn't have done it unless it was an assignment from these people that I trusted.
Right.
And so I started trying to pay attention to it and realized that so much of my life, I don't know if it's exactly that feeling, but let's say that it feels like a fire inside, like a warm fire inside. Like, I associated that. It feels like desire.
Right.
I associated that as something that I shouldn't feel because it was selfish.
Yeah. Desire is bad. Desire is selfish.
Yeah. Like if I loved, I don't know, playing Tetris or something like that,
Yeah.
which I kind of did back in the day. It's like, okay, that's fine that you love that, but like, if you spend your time doing that, that's selfish. There are better things to be doing with your time, right? And not even just that, but like anytime I would feel something like, oh, this is, I love to be outside.
Yeah.
I love to do competitive things like play sports and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's great, but that's a way. You should be reading your Bible, or you should be doing your homework, or you should be doing whatever else. Like the responsible thing to do was always the opposite of whatever made my heart come alive. So then I realized that over the years, as soon as I would feel that feeling, I'd be like, okay, that's selfish. I need to die to myself. I need to be responsible. I need to be grown up. And so it's just like taking that fire and just kind of like putting a big wet towel over it for a lot of years until it's kind of like, until I forget what that feels like.
Yeah.
So for me, a lot of the journey, this part of my life is just remembering, like, and it could be, honestly, this might sound harsh, but there are some people that I'm sure in all of our lives that we could hang out with and whatever. And there's some people that after you took a walk with them or a hike with them or had a long conversation with them, there are a lot of people that like just make me feel like, oh, I just feel more alive.
Yeah.
And there are some people that I feel taxed. Like I feel like it takes it away from me. And I always kind of felt like that. I was like, oh, well, I have to dedicate to those and learn how to love them better. I'm not saying you should cut those people out of your life totally, but you should pay attention to like, what is it about this friend that like just makes me so happy and makes me want to go spend time with them.
Yeah.
And, you know, when people started encouraging me to do that, the point was that in that fire, like, that's where God is.
Yeah.
That's like the God, like me being made in God's image.
Yeah.
That's the me, they would say like the birthless and the deathless you, the you that God has never, ever, ever not known your eternal self to be.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's what it is. And like, so when I connect with that, I'm connecting with like the delight that God has, he put in me.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a roundabout way of like connecting to God. Because I was like, if I want to connect to God, oh, it's easy. The answer is read the Bible, pray, go to church, do holy things, don't do bad things. And I would try to do those things, and sometimes it didn't feel more connected to God.
Yeah.
I'm not saying those are bad things to do.
Yeah, great discipline.
But like, if those things are coming out of like that fireplace, then that's where I actually do feel connected to God.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a long answer.
No, I just think, guys, as we're talking about all this, the heart, remember, I think in Psalms it says, guard it, it's the wellspring of life. And what does it look like to pay attention to in such a way that what we need is part of guarding it? I grew up, I remember the first time one of our friends, Tom, said, Todd, what do you need? I was like, that's the that's the most selfish question I've ever heard. And then I was like, I feel like I was like a parched desert that hadn't paid attention. Like, what are your desires? What do you say to somebody who is listening going, I'm so not in touch with my heart. I don't know where to start. Like, how do I locate what I need? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've got friends that would say, hey, how do I even begin to pay attention to what my heart needs right now? Because if I have a desire that's to go play a video game, or it's to go play frisbee golf, or go bowling, or go out with my friends, that's not spiritual, you know?
Yeah. Well, depending on the video game, it might be. Yeah, no, I think that's kind of, for me, personally, like, that's what it was. It was bowling with friends and doing these things that like were the path to God.
Yeah.
In a sense. But, well, for somebody who says, I don't even know how to recognize that, I'd be like, well, join the club. That's like,
welcome to
I'm right
humanity.
there. I'm right there with you.
Right.
And I think the only way to like get better at recognizing it is just trying to be mindful about it, and like with self-compassion, not like, oh, I can't remember this, but like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to be like, every once in a while, sit down and be like, how do I feel about that? Like, did I enjoy that movie? Like for me, my personality would be like, I'd go to a movie with friends and come out and people would be like, oh, did you like that? And I'd be like, I would want to wait till other people said it was good or not.
Right.
Because I was so disconnected from if I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And if I did enjoy it, it was almost like I didn't think that really mattered. But like, it does matter. I'd see people who'd be like, oh, I really like that movie because of this. Even if it was a weird movie, I'd be like, oh, what's it like to know that you like something?
Wow, yeah.
And so it's just like taking time and being like, when people would ask, oh, did you like that? I'd be like, you know what? Let me get back to you. And I'm going to actually think about it.
Yeah.
And think about like, did I enjoy it? And just do that with self-compassion, not beat myself up when I don't get it.
Yeah.
Get connected. But I think just from, I don't think you get an answer from asking the question, hey, what do I long for? I think you get an answer eventually from asking the question a lot. So it's not like a direct answer, but like asking the question is just like paying attention and saying like, oh, it matters to me. Yeah. What makes my heart come alive? And so I'm just going to start trying to pay a little bit of attention to it.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about good and bad desires, you know, and I think in the church, we've really hurt a lot of people by not being more curious about the honestly good desire that manifested itself in a way that caused harm. And until we go back to that good desire, which is from God, He made it.
Yeah.
We don't really get the answer to the longing, which is really going to be the healing thing for the person in the first place.
Yeah.
Guys, we're talking about all this because if you lead worship, if you write songs, if you're an artist, and you're not in touch with your heart, you're not in touch or able to be present in the moment with the people God's put in front of you, you're missing out on you becoming the glory that God created with you in this one life that you get. My friend, Carrie Garcia, who you guys are going to meet at the Rest Retreat, says she gets asked when she has this massive testimony. It's like, you know, drug addiction and other stuff. And she said people would come to her and say, you're going to do something big for God now. And she was like, I don't know anything bigger for God than sitting across from another person and looking them in the eye and just being there with them. And that wrecked me, Andy, because I was like, as we lead in churches or as we write songs and go around and travel, there's this sense in which God helped me to be present just to the human in front of me right now. And it's kind of like what you're saying with desires. Lord, what do I need right now? And can that be a holy thing if it's a Twinkie?
Right. Yeah. Well, I think that generally, like when it comes to desires, I understand the immediate pushback that I feel in my own heart.
Yeah.
Talking about like desires, because like, you know, people are like, well, it's easy to go first to destructive things that feel like desires.
Right.
You know, sex or alcohol or, you know, gambling or overeating. It's like, well, that's what I would associate desire with. And it's like, oh, this is destructive. I don't need to give more blame to that. But like the work that you're talking about is like looking underneath that and realizing like, oh, the desire underneath all of those things is really holy and good. And we think that the desire is this thing, but that's not actually what we're longing for. We're longing for connection and to be seen and to be safe with each other and for soothing. And you have to do the work of paying attention to get to that desire that's underneath the ones that we feel like, oh, you shouldn't be doing.
So, man, that brings me to your work and what you've been doing for years, which is songwriting. And I had some questions I want to ask you just because I was curious. Every time I've encountered you, and for the people that have seen you, you have this uncanny ability to make people laugh and then drive a Mack truck through their heart with like heartfelt lyric melody. Were you funny when you were little? Like, were people going, man, Andy's got this dry sense of humor? Like, when did you start noticing that? Because you're like so funny. Like, you can just say something that's pretty dry. And even when you were here a minute ago with Mark and Matt, like, has that always been who you are?
Now I feel pressure to say something funny.
Say something. It's who you are, man.
No,
you make me laugh and you make me cry. And I'm like, how did you do that?
Well, thank you. It's funny. I was talking to Jill about this the other day. I never thought of myself as funny. I don't think people thought I was funny because I had really funny friends growing up that I just thought they just cracked me up. I was like, those guys are funny.
Yeah.
And so I still don't. I kind of carry that image of myself with me to now, which, like, I don't think of myself as the funny one. But like my parents would say, like looking back on like home videos, I just don't have very good memories, and I don't have many memories at all of when I was a kid. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But apparently I was goofy, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you were funny." And I was like, I never felt that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I always loved people that can make me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the kind of people that made me kind of come alive. I was like, just the ability to laugh I'm just always longing for that. That makes my heart come alive. Just laughing at people,
It's so healing.
So I was always drawn to comedians too, and improv, and just things of where people are looking for. But when you look at comedians or in improv, it's like, I think it can be as funny as they're able to be, like really look at things honestly in life. And so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think of myself as the funny person, but I know people have told me.
Well, everybody that I know that talks about you behind your back, like Kathy and some of the people in our team, and you just have a gift to come in and meet people with humor, which is like a great doorway to the heart. And then, God's done so much healing work in your heart that the lyrics you write and the way you view the world, and like we said, you guys have been on the other side of so much grief that all that gets compressed into the narrative of the songs you write. And it's like, I love the way you view the world because there's the ability to laugh about stuff and yet weep. And it's all in the music. Pretty cool.
Well, I'm still stuck on the fact that Kathy's talking behind my back.
Yeah, Kathy, if you hear this.
No. I just always, the songwriters that I loved, I think humor is a great opening tool.
Well, you write lyrics that are humorous, like, weird people's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and those are kind of like,
you can look straight at a donut and turn it down, gluten free. I mean, when I first heard that, I was like, that's so cool.
That I had to make fun of my wife a little bit.
Do you open with that song a lot?
I do, yeah.
Because it's so just like unexpected. People are like, what's this thing? Who's this Andy guy? And then you start singing about weird, and then
Yeah, it is I don't have many good opening songs for a set, but
Is It Real? It's one of those too. Yeah. It's like, it's just from the first line, you're just like, where is this going?
Yeah, that's kind of, where is this going? That's a very common feeling with me.
No, but you get there, and it's a beautiful thing. Who were your, I wanted to ask you this just as a songwriter and as a guy who's trying to create. I don't write near as much as you, and I want to get back into it. I'm trying to make my heart come alive and be creative again. But what are some of the, I think you mentioned Don Williams was an influence on you.
Oh, yeah.
Who are some of the early guys that you heard, and even now that you still respect, that are just like, man, if I were to learn the craft or focus on the craft of lyric writing and the way I do stuff, these people really influenced me.
Man, there's a lot of listening to like 80s and 90s country growing up.
Yeah.
There's so many good songs. One of my favorite writers from that period is a guy named Hugh Presswood, who wrote songs like Hard Rock Bottom of Your Heart for Randy Travis, which if you listen to it, it's an amazing song about forgiveness. And then the song Remembers When for Trisha Yearwood. And I always loved the way that he wrote songs. I was also, a huge Garth Brooks fan because, he didn't write hardly any of his songs, but like he picked some really great
Yeah,
songs.
good songs.
And then from there, it's easily say that David Wilcox and Pierce Pettis and John Gorka in the folk world probably. I've often said that I spent my whole life trying to write one good David Wilcox song.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what's different about what David was doing and Pierce from the country music is similar song structure things, and it's folky, acoustic kind of stuff. But there was like an interest in vulnerability of, and then it's like a change agent. It's like trying to move, even if it's just move myself in the song from one place to another, kind of open myself up to another way of being. And I've just always, there was a healing component too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the healing component is just because you're being vulnerable, and that's kind of where that happens. But those guys definitely shaped that for me.
Do you feel like your journey since you guys were writing songs at Belmont in college, has it changed in different? I mean, obviously we all change as songwriters. You learn more and you explore different avenues, but like, do you look back at some of that stuff and go, man, that was really good? And how did that happen?
I do like
that for, Jill's album, the first time I heard y'all, and I was like, y'all wrote most of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, in college.
Yeah, it's funny that I was traveling somewhere by myself a couple weeks ago, and I put on that old record. I hadn't listened to Jill's first record. Man. And I was like, I mean, there's some songs for sure that I'm like, I was like, oh, this is well written, but I would never say this
right now.
Right now. And it was like that. I listened to her first 2 or 3 records, and particularly the first 2. There were some that I was like, wow, I cannot believe I wrote that in college.
Did y'all write Everything is Holy?
Jill wrote that.
Good grief.
Yeah.
At 20-something.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a sage.
Yeah, she might have been 19 when she wrote that song.
Like the reality of what she was saying there was beyond y'all's years.
Or an I Am. It's kind of like, that's a great, awesome song that she wrote. And I listened to that, and I'm like, oh, I always felt like whatever I was writing was, if the songs were going to be limited by my experience and my competence, then they would be always really horrible. I'm just lucky that songs don't do that. Like songs can be aspirational, and you can write something like out of intuition and hope that it's good, and you're just following a structure, and then it ends up having meaning to people that you didn't intend. So that's out of my hands. I think what about those early writing that has changed, where I was like, we wouldn't say that anymore. It would be any language that was like, I mean, there are some songs that were very striving language. Like, I'm going to get this right.
Right.
Like there's a song that I wrote called Last Time. I think it was on her second record. And it was, last time I didn't try hard enough to make it right. I let that evil side come back around. This time you're going to see one more chance is all I need.
Right.
To show you that I'm trying to let you down for the last time.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. But like, all that striving, I think both Jill and I have moved away from that language of just like, oh, it's on me to get it right and to do better. And there were some songs that kind of had that feel to it. And I kind of blame the pressure of being a 22-year-old put in front of, churches to say something wise, and you're trying to say something that is like, and you're just like guessing at what everybody else is saying you're supposed to say.
Mm-hmm.
And
you hadn't done much life yet.
No.
Yet you have this gift. It's amazing.
But yeah, luckily we've kept the things that were great about the way we saw the world then.
Yeah.
And hopefully 20 years from now it'll be different still. I'll look back and be like, man, I can't believe I wrote that song about whatever.
Let's talk about, I just as a songwriter, want to know, but you have a lot of unfinished stuff that's in sections, and how does it work for you? And everybody asks this question to songwriters, Andy, so it's not a generic answer, but I guess maybe every song is different with how it comes to you, but you're just such a brilliant lyricist, but the melody and stuff's there too. Like, I don't know.
Thank you.
How does it happen for you, man? Like, do you do the discipline of, hey, I'm going to write today. I'm setting aside a couple hours and I'm going to see what's on my heart, or I'm going to write third person, or I'm going to write about somebody else and approach it that, or is it all of the above, you know?
I should be more disciplined about it. Kind of as disciplined as I get is having some co-writes on my calendar.
That helps you?
I mean, just like I'll know that I'm going to be writing with somebody that day. And then
like God is in No Hurry on the new record. Great song.
Thank you.
And you wrote that with Andrew's daughter,
Yeah,
Sky.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Was that one time sit down?
That would be...
Were you all on the road, Behold the Lamb or something?
No. Sky came over and we just talked for a number of hours. And...
that seems like it's a good part of it, like connection.
Oh, I mean, all songwriting things for me is like... There's definitely at least 2 or 3 hours of just talking about life.
Yeah.
And then just seeing what comes out of that. And it just happened that it was kind of a meeting of me, you know, all this talk about desire, something I've been carrying around for a long time that a spiritual director told me about following the things that make my heart come alive. And it was just like that day talking with Sky, that message was just intersecting with what was going on in her life. And yeah, so we kind of, I don't know that we finished it that day. But usually what would happen on a co-write like that is we would get chorus or verse or something like that. And then kind of like, you know, I'll say, hell, let's get back together. Or if you have something, send it to me.
Sure.
But if it's something that I really like, then I'll just like, you know, that afternoon or that evening, I'll be like, okay, I can't get this out of my head and I need to. And so then just like sending her stuff and then going back and forth and saying what fits and what doesn't. But other than that, it's kind of like, I'm not super disciplined. I should be.
Yeah, some people like.
But I try not to should myself anymore. So I'm just like, well, songs kind of come as they come.
Let's talk about Winning Streak.
Okay.
The new record.
All right.
How do you know when it's time to do a new record? You have your Patreon channel.
Yeah.
And you're right. Have the Patreon people already heard a good many of these songs before you put them in the...
Yeah, because my Patreon, I kind of like, as soon as I write a song, pretty much I just take a video.
If you're listening and you want to listen to Andy's like behind the scenes as he's writing, go to his Patreon channel. Yeah. Is there a username? Is it
just Andy Gullahorn, I think.
Andy Gullahorn Patreon. You can support him that way and be involved in the behind the scenes.
It helps to support me in my...
Gosh. We had 4 boys. We didn't have to do the dolls. You know,
it's awesome because if you're just listening to the audio, you have no clue.
Yeah, you got to watch the YouTube channel to see the American Girl doll in Andy's arms right now. Oh my gosh.
No, yeah, I should have.
You're gonna have to put that away.
I'm gonna do it the whole time.
I can't take you seriously anymore. That's amazing.
No, it had been way too long since I'd done a record, but it was definitely time because I had songs sitting around. But it was fun having. I mean, Patreon made me feel like, there's life for all these songs that I'm writing.
Yeah, even
if you know they aren't the best songs in the world. But yeah, having a new record is helpful. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've been playing a lot of these songs on the road for a long time.
Yeah.
And just to have something that's like, here's a piece of work that you can listen to. And the songs, I think, are intentionally fitting together in some way.
Yeah.
So if people are kind enough to take the time to listen to it, I hope it moves them in some way.
Man, it's good. Does it sound familiar? Let's talk about a few of these. Just guys, go listen to Winning Streak. It's funny because I've got so many friends that they do know you, but they're listening and just going, "Man, this record's so good." And each song has a different place it takes you toward honesty. There's heartache, you know. But does it sound familiar? I mean, I've listened to the song, but I was going over it again this morning before the interview, and I'm like, dude, it's about what we were talking about, like not knowing your glory.
Yeah, and that came out of a story about. The song tells a story about a painting, and it's basically a story that I heard about this guy that bought a frame at a yard sale in New England.
Mm.
He was just going to use the frame and get rid of whatever the picture was, and took it apart and found these 2 watercolor paintings behind it, the Shaker watercolor, that were worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
No way.
And I'm just like, man, isn't that
like discarded?
Isn't that us? Like, it's like you're in a frame that doesn't fit. You're kind of hidden.
Yeah.
And then at some point, somebody breaks open the frame and sees you.
Yeah.
Like, actually sees you.
Yeah.
In the glory in which you were created.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, the song was just saying, like, hey, do you remember what your true name is? Do you remember what that painting is in yourself? You know?
Which is crazy, because not to bring worship circle up, but that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
It's what Adam Young was talking about. Like, Jesus has written our name on a stone that only he knows. Mm. And our goal in life is to become that name, not by striving, but by being the unique us, the original painting that God. Yeah. And I just think that's so powerful, especially to start the record with.
Yeah. I think that this is, something that probably nobody will care about, but, God is in a hurry is the very last song on the record. And it ends with, just keep repeating, he loves you where you are.
Yeah.
And to me, does it sound familiar as a weird song to start the record? Because it's kind of like quiet, and it's not like it's not like a party starter.
Yeah.
But at the end of that song, it talks about the guy buying this thing, and then opens the frame, and it says, someday when you least expect, after your life is left for dead, something comes to resurrect. It sets you free. It breaks the frame. It marvels in the way you're made, and it calls you by your truest name. Does it sound familiar? It's like, does that
such a play on words?
Does that name? Do you even remember that true self that
dude
has that desire?
Yeah.
And so to me, that was kind of like a bookend for God is in no hurry. Just kind of saying like that.
Yeah.
That part of you, God just delights in, and just trying to say, hey, listen for it until it sounds familiar,
Yeah, man. All these songs are so therapeutic, and I think they all come from a lot of the work you and Jill have done, and what you do with people, just to be present to God in them. And that's just such an amazing song. Small things, knowing small things matter is no small thing. It's like really what we were talking about before we rolled the interview. I think there's parts in all of our lives where God, bigger and better is better. Mm-hmm. And I got to be bigger and better.
Oh man, that has no correlation to the church or the worship at all. I mean, that song was like, I wrote that right after Eugene Peterson died.
Yeah.
And to me,
didn't y'all meet Eugene?
Yeah, we did a couple of retreats.
Yeah,
we were really lucky to do
that.
He was very influential in my life.
Yeah,
and partially because he was just a champion for, in a world where things are only valuable if they are bigger, or how many followers you have, or how many people go to the church, or how many people are listening to your record or whatever, and saying like what you're saying, Carrie was saying, do something big for God. He's just like, it doesn't get bigger than a connection.
Right.
And and he was somebody that helped me to see that, like, doing, both me and Jill, we talked about, like, he helped put honor in our minds for being middle-class musicians, for just doing things on a small level, but they connected, you know? And
that's so good, man.
Yeah, that's kind of where that one was coming out of.
Winning streak. This will be the last one we kind of hit. The most beautiful people I know have suffered immeasurable loss, found their way out of the desert, richer for paying the cost. Having a dream disappear, finding a hope paralyzed. Beautiful people don't happen overnight. Man, it's just so, it's like you're like speaking to my life in these songs. Like who wants to sign up for the crushing? Mm-hmm. And Jesus, or, people, just, we've been talking about grief, and it's the pathway to joy. And Jesus, they say in Scripture, Jesus was a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. Who wants that? Yet he was God, and he wept. And I hate that and I love that.
Yeah. I think as somebody who knows that grief is a pathway to that, I still don't want it.
No, I don't want it.
It's like,
Lord, I want to suffer.
Yeah,
I want to.
Let me just take all the lessons I've learned so far and just live off of those for the rest of my life.
Oh man!
But it is like there is comfort in that. It's really true. We're talking about people paying attention to how you feel when you're in the presence of somebody else.
Yeah.
And all the time, people that have faced their grief and their failures and come to terms with their limitations and their weaknesses. Those are people that I'm like, my anxiety level when I'm around somebody like that just goes down. So I'm like, okay, I don't have to pretend to be something that I'm not.
Right.
And that's kind of what I was getting at with that. It's like it's really hard won, but those are the kind of people that really make me feel loved and comfortable in life.
And in a way, I remember a point a few years ago where I was like, I just want to be around broken people that know they're broken.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, I feel like I'm closer to Jesus when I'm with him.
Yeah.
Yet he was God. And I'm like, what is this correlation between people that have suffered such loss in this life? And I think it's that they know how hard this world can be. They've felt it. They've lived it. And yet they got out of bed the next day and they're here with you. And I'm just like, and then, I think about, I was telling a friend this the other day about just all this work we're all doing and trying to help other people with this work of paying attention to your heart. And there's going to be a day in all of our lives that the bottom's going to fall out. And presence will mean a million times more than a word. And I want to be a man the rest of my life that cultivates that to where my words mean less as I get older and my presence means more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I think you guys have been that gift for me, man. Just like, and I think so many people in this town, so many people as you travel, like God's given you and Jill the gift of presence because you've tasted the brokenness of this world. You've walked with a lot of people that have. And so on behalf of my heart and so many in our ministry, thank you. And all the people that love you guys' music.
Well, if that's true, and I hope it is true, that I think it's all recycled.
Yeah.
From people being really fortunate to have people in our life that were able to be present with us.
Yeah.
And model that for us in times when we needed it.
Yeah. Sometimes a gaze and attention and just a listening ear speaks so much louder than a well, here's what you should do. Man, y'all listen, go eat up Andy's music. So many records. I mean, I was walking the other day. You sang that in Texas again, and I was like tears. I'm walking on the walk, doing my 10,000 steps in that song. And when you hit that high part, I'm like, I know Andy. And it's so cool to know your life and your story and your journey and be hearing this beautiful melody and stuff going, my spirit's coming alive walking and I'm going to be okay. Because I got a guy who's wept with me, been there, and with other friends too. Like we've all tasted in the suffering of the world, but also because of that can laugh really hard together.
Yeah.
Thus the karaoke at the rest retreat.
No, I cannot.
I think Jill and you will have to have a competition between you.
No. I'm not going to. I won't. Karaoke, I'm never nervous playing shows for myself.
Yeah.
But karaoke makes me incredibly anxious.
Well, those of you coming, it's going to be awesome. How can people get in touch with you?
Well, just social media. Andy Gullahorn. You just have to spell my last name right. Gullahorn. And then
is that 80s doll? Your daughter?
It's mine.
Unbelievable.
That's shaming.
This is so awkward. It reminds me of the SNL skit with the little hand. His little hands hanging out. Unbelievable. On behalf of American Doll, brought to you by Worship Circle, American Doll, Andy Gullahorn, his wife Jill, and their family coming to you live. AndyGullahorn.com. Andy's available for bookings. And if you have a retreat or an event where you just want somebody to help open people's hearts, Andy's your guy.
Oh, thank you.
And your music definitely brings life and healing to a lot of people. So, man, thanks for your time today. Thanks for doing this as you guys send these precious ones to school.
Man. And thanks for the work that you do. Thanks for caring for people's hearts. Thanks for recycling ways that people have cared for your heart and accepting that and then bringing that back into the world.
Thanks, man.
Making a difference.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll keep showing up.
Yep.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
Bye, friends.